We also made fun of that tantric sex couple.
Yeah, that couple that looked like they had tantric sex with each other.
Yeah.
And then I got shit for it, and then you guys agreed with me by the end of it.
No, you were right. I don't say this often about you, Kyle, but you were right.
Yes.
The Kyle is always right.
I will continue to be correct.
Oh.
I will say all that ridiculousness was worth getting a release date for Remnant 2. I'm so psyched for that game.
Yeah, and it's soon.
It's looking really good.
Yeah.
It's very soon.
I had a feeling it was going to be. They were
year is
showing a lot of
crazy,
gameplay.
man.
I know, it's insane. I didn't know this about Cuphead. Didn't Cuphead get announced in like 2011?
Yeah, Cuphead was a fucking very long development cycle because they fucking drew it on like cells.
Yeah.
2010 is when it was announced.
What is this? Is this just saying it's available on a different?
Yeah, I think it's just they're saying it's because this is with the
because physical
the last
editions
course.
now are basically like a literally made for collectors, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like physical edition, I don't even think that collectors want the CDs anymore. I think they just want the cartridges. If it's on a cartridge, they want it.
Dude, I know I always talk about physical media, and this kind of makes me a hypocrite, but like every time I'm really excited for a game, I buy it digital. So now the only games that I own physical are games that like I'm waiting to go on sale, and then they end up on sale on like an Amazon or a Best Buy or something. So my actual game bookshelf is just it's kind of embarrassing because it's aggressively mediocre.
I will say I was like very against digital games for a very long time, and for the Switch I bought almost everything physical, but then I lost my Switch case with all my games in it, so
I bought the thing is I get the argument for wanting pure or going back to at least somewhat physical, but I haven't bought a physical game. I think the last physical game I bought was in December, which was Crisis Core, and the only reason I bought it was because it was out early. I have a mom and pop shop that like occasionally breaks street date and shit like that. So I just was like, they were like, hey, come on by, pick it up, and that was it. Otherwise, I pick literally everything up on digital because of the it just it's better for me.
The only game that
and most of the fucking games you need to like install off the disc anyway now, so it's
right.
Well, that's the thing is like with Smash, like I wanted to get Smash in physical, but then apparently if you download it, it runs better. So I was like, I guess I'm gonna download it then.
There's also games where you'll buy them, you'll get the physical fucking box, and you open it up, and you're like, oh, there's no disc, it's just a code.
That's fucked up.
So
They should never do that.
That's actually fun.
No, it's awful. It's the worst, which is why I'm like, why would I even fucking bother? And I understand it's like about the preservation of these games and stuff like that, but with how like emulation is just essentially becoming faster and faster as time goes on, and the fact that like honestly there's very few games that I would consider nowadays that need preservation. Like I'm not chomping at the bit for anything that's really on the PS4, because most of everything that I want that's on the PS4 either has a PC release of some sort or is like just not worth it.
Yeah, I think the big thing is like licensed games and games that use like music. Like, did you see the fucking GTA thing that happened a while ago where like GTA 4 kind of had to patch itself and remove like half the music tracks in it? Just shit like that is weird.
Well, that's what happened with like the Scott Pilgrim game, and that's what happened with was it Deadpool?
Yeah, it happened with Deadpool. Happened with like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, like I was saying earlier. It happened with like, I mean, it happens with all those games really. You can't buy like any of those older Spider-Man games anywhere.
Yeah, I would never. I think that's the thing is like I would never make a game with modern music if I was making a game now, just because it's like it just seems like too much hassle for something like that doesn't really end up paying off.
I mean, even like shows and movies and shit. Like sometimes like a show will like use like a track as its opening, and they have to fucking like change it for streaming and stuff because they don't want to re-license the song.
Yeah,
I remember that was a big thing with like Evangelion, was they actually got Fly Me to the Moon for when they re-released it or whatever.
This is Pokemon again.
It's like a volleyball game.
Monster volleyball.
Yeah, furry volleyball.
To express their personalities. And
Now that's not very nice. This thing's not fuckable at all.
No, there was definitely a fuckable bunch in there.
Express a range of emotions, and we had a lot of fun performing that.
Nothing, just white woman shit.
I was definitely on Twitter for half a second. Looked over when you said fuckable shit, and then saw a dog, and I was like,
No, there was one that had like the stereotypical like fursuit smile.
White woman just shit.
White woman.
You decide where to go, who to challenge.
Oh my gosh.
And every time
You decide where to go and how to play volleyball.
So no matter which way you go, you'll have a tough.
This could be fun. I don't know.
I'm gonna knock it under the thing.
Volleyball is about choices.
And
Yeah.
if Beastie Ball looks cool to you too, then please check us out at
Beast-
beastieballgame.com.
Oof.
We're going to be revealing a crowdfunding campaign.
Beastie Ball, huh?
I don't know if I like the name of that.
Still think I'm crazy.
More about Beastie Ball.
No.
Hate white women.
I don't want to shit on that too hard. These are indie developers. They work very hard to make their games.
To make their bestiality again. I'm turning off these fucking subtitles because they are way beyond.
An amazing
Yeah.
open world with everything from lush rolling hills to deep labyrinths. They'll be comprised of both
So
handcrafted
true,
and
Beastie.
procedural
Fuck
elements.
you.
Oh my
Like its
god.
predecessor, it'll be chock full of secrets and lore, sure to satisfy even the most curious explorer. You'll face off against enigmatic
I'm the most
enemies,
curious explorer. That's
armed
me.
with an arsenal
That's
of
you,
weapons
Kyle.
that you've crafted
Even
from
me?
spoils
When she said that, I was
and
thinking about
And
you.
for those diehard fans that have been eagerly awaiting its release, we have
I
some
made for
never-before-seen
Spelunkin.
sneak peeks. This is Hyper Light Breaker.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay, shit. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to shit on it. Sorry.
We're making a breaker.
Oh, fuck yeah. Neat. That's neat.
I'd like to try this game soon. Give me a date
Yes.
to try it soon, please.
I'd like to play the video game. Because this looks very, might I say,
Hyper Light Breaker
epic?
is a huge, stylish, bloody game. As is our MO, it's a game that's vivid but bleak, with a crumbling world that can be brutal and beautiful all at once.
This actually does look fun.
It's a major
Yeah, it's a co-op game too, so.
First
I think it looks a lot more fun in co-op, yeah. But
Yeah.
it's kind of like a roguelike sort of deal.
Like Breath of the Wild,
Yeah.
distilled into the format of a roguelike, such as Dead Cells or Hades. You can play alone or with friends cooperatively.
That's a good pitch.
Breaker's narrative
It's a good pitch, but like I don't know.
visual storytelling.
I don't like
Discovering
this game is like this
history,
game but mixed with this game, like comparisons. I've always
I think the thing that I
wanted properties
despise
to stand
more
on their
so
own.
the world will be different.
is that I really wish indie games would stop fucking relying on the roguelite genre. I really wish we could just drop
I don't
that
care.
shit.
I love it.
And new discoveries and a mysterious
That's maybe my favorite trend in gaming in like the last 20 years, so I strongly disagree with
Yeah.
you. I take it way over fucking MMOs. I take it way
Yes.
over fucking battle royales. Take it way over fucking MOBAs. Take it way
Yeah.
over fucking like I don't know like what I'd yeah.
new gear.
Yeah,
new
here's
world,
the reason I like the
characters,
roguelike genre though is because you're expected to play the game
materials from Run.
like over and over and over again and like master the mechanics. Means the mechanics actually have to be fun to keep you interested.
Yeah.
So like
I mean, that doesn't necessitate a roguelite and thing. I've always been more of a fan
it
of
doesn't.
having persistent progression, especially in a game like this where it seems like things like loot and stuff
but
like that are going to be
usually
integral
do
to the
have
core
persistent. I know, but
gameplay,
it's
so-
roguelite. If it's roguelite, then it has persistent progression. It's just that you have to start over again when you lose. Like it has some form of like upgrading your character or like changing how the drop table works
And
or
now, in
like
true Day of the Devs fashion,
I'm sure it has
halfway
something.
around the globe to Transylvania.
Like Hades,
I
Hades
just,
has like
you know-
has the mirror and it has like the hub world and stuff like that that you can upgrade, and it has all the little trinkets and weapons you can get.
Not that
So-
I'm sitting here and I'm gonna fucking try to defend the AAA industry by any means, but I also think that the indie industry just needs to stop fucking relying on roguelites. That's what I'm
All
saying.
right, Phil, you know what, just for that.
Every single fucking one of these, it's always like.
Just for that, Lyle was right about Cowboy Bebop and you were wrong. just for
You know what?
that.
Go ahead.
Yes!
Go ahead,
Two
Kyle.
against one!
You go ahead.
Two against one!
You can feel it in your heart that you're wrong, and I'll let you think that because you know that you're wrong. And you feel it on a subconscious, almost atomic level of how fucking wrong you are.
That's one of the greatest things. Phil, that's one of the greatest things about being a father now. I can be wrong about a lot of things, and she'll agree with me every single time. I'll raise her to agree with me.
I'm calling DCS right fucking.
I'm gonna introduce her to the Cowboy Bebop live action before I introduce her to the anime.
And she's gonna think it's subpar but has fun aspects, just like me.
And
Yes.
I'm going to, and she's gonna come up and go, Uncle Phil, can we watch Cowboy Bebop? I'm gonna go, yes, and she turns that on, and I'm gonna have to look at it and go, yes, sweetie, this is great. This is a really good time.
That's the best way I think my daughter can get to know you is just by me fucking with you and you getting mad. Oh God. Yes.
What's going on here?
Build the little statues. Yes.
Closer to adulthood, and you'll be there to guide her. From simple activities like picking dry
You can pick a big leaf and you can put that fucking leaf on the floor. You can make a little birdhouse for a guy. What is this game about? What's the mechanic?
What is it? What
There
is
it is.
this?
We found him. We found the one that Lyle's bullying today.
What type of game is this? So these indie games.
You know how you don't like cleaning your room in real life? What if you had to do it in a video game?
What is this art style called? I want to know what it is called because like I see this so.
Portland core?
Yeah, I don't. It's in.
No, it's just core. It's just core. 100%.
Look at them with their vinyl record player and their plants.
Does every single indie dev have to be a tantric sex couple? What is going on?
Look at they're ready for it. They're all like fucking. He's all yogaed up.
Video games just not made by real people anymore. It's just fucking archetypes. What the fuck is happening?
encouraging you to reflect on your own memories.
Why go outside and do this when you could do it in a video game?
Do with the fucking midsummer accent.
My name is Windcloth Yoga Spear.
And I am coming right now.
We hope you'll enjoy playing simpler times as
I'm pretty sure we didn't hear, but this man definitely came on the screen going, Namaste.
Fucking Nordic Shaggy over here.
Nordic Shaggy. Oh, look at there's a deer. The celestial deer.
Like Zoink Skilbjorn, I'm going to have tantric sex.
God damn it. You get it. All their sandwiches are
back and shoot him.
All their sandwiches are gluten free.
I didn't know if I could pull that
Fucking
one
hell.
off when I did it, but I just took a leap.
Sad Owl Studios and
Good God.
It's a really unique puzzle game built around.
Wow, wait, somebody put in the chat,
You
but
know
it's
what the
literally
problem
called.
is? These people are happy. That's my problem with
I know. They love making video games and they're very proud of their game even if it doesn't do well. They really have like mastered the art of like being content with your life and it pisses me off.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. Where do they fucking get off?
Yeah. Where do they get off being happy and making art that they can enjoy and hopefully others will enjoy too? Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Nordic Shaggy just coming in his pants all day.
Yeah.
Asshole.
Make content like the rest of us, idiot.
Yeah.
Gets a big fucking cup of cum and he's like, here's your Skewborn snack. Oh, this game looks cool. Yeah, I actually...
It looks cool, but you're gonna throw up, Lyle.
I only threw up at fucking Superliminal, I think, because of like the field of view. Also, Chris plays video games. I'm calling him out. Chris plays first-person shooters, especially like with his mouse, in a way that is fucking vomit-inducing. I've never gotten sick playing a first-person game or watching someone play a first-person game, but it's happened on Oni Plays like 4 times.
Yeah.
This is really neat. I like this a lot.
Oh, what the fuck? That's cool. I'll say like this is a very like cool thing that you can do in games now, and like it's impressive every time they do it.
Yeah, I have no idea how the fuck they do it, but
yeah, that's insane. I'm assuming it like loads into a new like it loads new structures or whatever whenever you do that.
Yeah.
So it's just, but like how seamless it is incredible. Well, look at it. It's a cat.
Cute kitty.
Manifold Garden, and various other first-person.
Oh, The Witness. The Witness is a game I haven't played, but everybody says like it's fuck you hard.
It's weird. It's really, really fucking. I've played a little bit of it, and it's very esoteric.
When you actually create something, you do destroy.
I think the wild thing is the fact that you're like taking pictures of the.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like,
yeah, I really don't know how in the hell that's supposed to work. Like every time they do it, I'm like I actually wonder how real or what the fuck. Like I wonder how real or fake this gameplay is, just because it's like I don't. If this works as well as it seems like it's working,
you could probably
in this,
break a lot of the game.
Either break the game or just something will just not go where you want it to a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like this is actually like fucking with me. Clean Spleen McLear wants me to clean my ass, and no, it will stay as nature intended.
I'm sure you noticed by now.
What do you mean clean your ass? We wipe.
No, that's gay, man. You put stuff in your ass?
No.
Oh, look, it's an RPG.
What the hell?
Oh, not an RPG, it's Legend of Zelda.
Lewis.
Sorry.
What,
it's dangerous to go in there alone. Haha.
To just put in what we know,
This is
so
Lewis.
that the rest of the world could also, have a glimpse of the experiences that we've had.
That you've had.
I'm at the point where it's like tech has gotten to like this level where I look at this and I go, this is totally possible. I just don't know how. I don't know how the fuck they do it.
Yeah,
Like,
it's black
insane.
magic.
Record number of submissions for this Summer Game Fest edition of Day of the Devs.
I don't know what you're going for with that hair, man.
We have eyes,
but you are not pulling it off.
Yeah, I don't want to be mean,
This
but
one actually came from Twitter because the creator was posting all these amazing gifs.
bro got spaghetti on his head.
My man got the whole fuck my shit up cut, bro. That's crazy.
This, to be fair, this hairstyle looks good on no one. It's not. It's like there is no one who looks good with that hair. There's never been anyone who looks good with that hair or the broccoli cut or whatever the
This man
fuck is
said
going
he's
on with
the
hair
Chef
now.
Boyardee, bro. That's crazy, dude. That's fucked up.
I think the broccoli cut, the broccoli cut is like the modern fedora, where like you'll see like 1 in 100 people will be able to pull it off, and then everybody else just looks like a muppet.
Only person who's ever pulled out of a fedora is like fucking Indiana Jones, and that's it.
I mean, like, if you do like the whole like alternative dude, like there's like fucking like 50-year-old dudes with tattoos that are still in shape that can kind of pull off a fedora, but it's not common.
Yeah,
you know, like if you.
Hold on, fedora or trilby? There's a difference.
I don't care. If you want to pull off the broccoli cut, you've got to like dress like you're a Korean street racer or something. Like it's.
Even then, I don't think you pull it off. I think it still looks ridiculous.
I think it's possible, but yeah, no, like 99% of the time, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things where like you can kind of see the like embarrassing like fashion trend kind of thing in the making with the broccoli cut. I feel like in 20 years people are gonna be looking back and what was I fucking thinking with the broccoli cut? It's like the man bun. It's like what the fuck was I thinking with that? You know?
Yeah. There's a few hairstyles that are just kind of like. I mean, I don't know. I had a buzz cut for a long time and it looked terrible on me. So it's just like I'm not like judging too hard, but like
environments and characters are all
that's a choice. Here's a choice.
This sounds like we're judging entirely.
Yeah, no, I am.
Yeah, I'm just because of that. I'm not playing this game.
I don't think that guy did that guy make this game? It doesn't look bad. I mean, that guy's haircut was not a broccoli cut. That guy's haircut was like a fucking.
Although this is the third game we've seen where it's like Shadow World light.
Black and white art. Yeah, black and white art style.
Hold to unhaunt. Oh, you're a ghost. I think.
Okay, Lyle's probably gonna play
That's
this.
pretty
Fuck
cool.
you.
I like that.
Lyle loves
like
ghosts
that a
and
lot.
haunting things.
I do love ghosts and haunting things. Haunty.
Yeah. It's the perfect game.
See, like this guy has a better version of that other dude's haircut.
Yeah.
The other dude had this haircut, but he looked wet.
GDC's Independent Games Festival. But then, shortly afterwards, both the game and its creator vanished. That game was Cart Life, a slice-of-life simulation game that put you in the shoes of various street.
The creator vanished and is fucking dead now. Goodbye.
Bagels and newspapers. As the story unfolds, you'd soon find yourself making tough choices and trying to balance keeping your business afloat with the needs of your character and their families. It was a truly unique, powerful, and special game, and
That nobody ever fucking played.
The better part of a decade. But it gives me great pleasure to tell you that Lovingly Restored and Better Than Ever is back.
Poor indies.
I've never.
Listen.
What? I've never heard of this game.
That is not the look I was expecting from how he was describing it.
No, I was describing more of this like hippy dippy tantric bullshit. But this is gray. This looks like a Newgrounds game.
I'm Nick Herman.
Why is one of your main
Studio,
characters Pat
and we're here
Boyven
to
from
show you
fucking Psychots?
Car Life is a retail simulator developed by Richard Hoffmeyer and was originally released in 2013, where it won
Richard Hoffmeyer. You would have said Lucas Pope, I would have gone, oh, but you didn't. You said another guy. That's a different guy. I don't know that guy. The thing about a game like this is it probably does something cool, but it's so hard to get me to like give one of these a chance. And I'll acknowledge that that's like a failing on my part.
That's kind of how I felt about like Papers, Please. Like that game, I understand. Like
Papers, Please is cool. I played that one only after I played Oberdin because Oberdin was so fucking good.
I haven't played Oberdin.
Oh, dude,
I gotta play it.
You should play that one with Anna. That one is really, really interesting. That's one of my favorite games of all time, and it's very. You can only play it once.
Oh, okay.
It's a puzzle game, but it's really, really interesting.
That's kind of how I feel about Inscription. It's like a really good game, but like it can't surprise you anymore after you play it one time.
Yeah,
I gotta try it. I gotta really try it. I've bought it ages ago.
It's so good. It's so good.
Just like
Inscription.
And don't be intimidated by the fact that it's a card playing game. It's very easy for a card playing game. Like it's like very approachable, I guess is the word.
How you prioritize the needs of your cart against the personal needs of each.
I still haven't like beat that one 100%. I got to a certain part.
You might have to go back because you might have forgotten how to play the card game.
Well, I mean that's the issue is that you know there's a thing that the game does at a certain point.
Yeah.
And if you've played it, you probably know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, just ignore me.
Play the video game.
Yeah, it is a good video game. I did like.
There's no right or wrong way to play this game. What players choose to do with the time that they have with each character is entirely up to them. Everyone's experience.
Oh, is there a mod? Is there like a DLC for Inscription that I haven't played? Oh, I gotta play that. Somebody's saying there's like a.
Even the order in which they choose to play the characters.
But yeah, you guys should play Oberdin. It's a good co-op game, but both of you don't need to hold the controller. I'll just say that. It's a good co-op puzzle game because it's fucking hard.
Sounds good.
Cart Life.
The skateboard renaissance has been going on for the last couple years in games, and as we get deeper into the grind revival,
has it though?
Things are getting a little more avant-garde.
I don't believe him.
There was Skatebird. That's the only one that is Skatebird, and then there was like a new Tony Hawk, and neither of them were good. I thought.
Yeah, no, both of them were super disappointing.
Oh wait, just a glass demon.
Hello, my name is Jordi van den Bussen, also known as
Oh yeah, the one that looked like a Microsoft.
of Phantom Coast, and today we'll be talking about
Quebblecop. Isn't Quebblecop a wasn't he a fucking like Team Solo mid guy or something? Like Quebblecop, he was like a League player, wasn't he? Where have I heard that fucking name?
I've heard that name before too. I can't remember that.
He was a YouTuber, dude.
Was he a YouTuber? I could have sworn that I've heard like a shoutcaster scream it a bunch. That's where like the state dependent. Let me see. I could be wrong.
Hellskate takes place in.
Didn't this guy do some illegal stuff? I don't know. Maybe that's where I've heard of him.
Through and through. All Anton wants to do is skate.
So the idea is that it's like a.
Even if that means
he's one of those content creators that does the 250 ways to upgrade billionaire hypercars in GTA 5.
Skateboard mechanics are very similar to the.
And he makes millions of fucking views off of that.
I mean, our lead game designer.
This is a really cool
Tony Hawk's
idea for a game, yeah. Tony Hawk Pro Skater with combat.
That's pretty cool.
I will always appreciate really large scale content creators turning around and taking their money towards actually investing in cool ideas.
Yeah,
I will always be down with that.
I mean, like,
of course, we're bound to.
I say this on a live stream that I think, like, for me, the reason I make content like this is so that I can make cartoons and stuff. Like, so it's like, if you're making kind of like chewable content of the day, sort of just like ear fodder crap, and then you're not really doing anything with the revenue that brings in, like, I don't know. I feel like it's just kind of a fucking waste.
Lyle, what if the thing you're doing is buying a sick Lambo?
I wouldn't know. I've never bought a sick Lambo.
Yeah, exactly. And you never will.
No, probably not.
Could have.
No.
I do not make Lambo money.
No one wants. There's no reason to buy one of those things. It's impossible. Like, it's just a stupid fucking flex of a car. It's a dumb vehicle. McLaren and Lambo and all that bullshit. Get yourself a decent Honda. There you go. Be responsible.
I got a buddy that's very into cars, and I'm just like, dude, you might as well be like trying to get me into like yachts or something. Like, it's not gonna.
I'm into cars too, but like I can totally understand why people like just don't care what they drive, because it's like there's not really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just, maybe it's the LA mindset of just half the time you're just sitting with your fucking foot on the brake anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah,
absolutely. I have a quote unquote nice car, and it's like I feel completely wasted with it a lot of the time. I like driving it on the highway. I like driving it at night because there's no one on the road, but like I'm glad that I have other vehicles.
Jeff gets what I'm saying. Jeff and Chet, stop making it a fucking roguelike. Just make it a game. Not everything needs to be a fucking roguelike.
Yes,
Please.
it does.
Why?
Because I don't want to do a level you don't need to do all this extra bullshit. The game just needs to be fun.
How the fuck do you associate? I have no idea what you're talking about.
You have to build solid mechanics to make a roguelike fun, otherwise it sucks.
No, that is, you can do that without the roguelike mentality. I don't understand what the fuck you guys are talking about.
Okay, you can, but it's not as easy, because you have to then other games are gonna be like, well, dude, what about the story and what about this thing? No one ever said man, Dead Cells wasn't good because the story sucks.
You can just make a fucking action game level based and call it a day.
But no one's gonna play it.
And then people like me will play it once, get 2 hours of enjoyment out of it, and never touch it again.
Exactly.
How the fuck does making it roguelike? I don't understand that.
Because if you make it a story-based level-driven game, they play it for 3 or 4 hours, it's over, and then it's done.
Fucking Devil May Cry 5 gives you Nero's Devil Trigger at the end of the game. Guess who's never used Nero's Devil Trigger? This guy.
Yeah.
If I had fucking levels to play, I would. But then I play one, I'm like, oh, this is that boring one where you're in the fucking cell the whole time. Oh, this is that shit one that fucking just make a thing.
Who the fuck? Jeff and the Dead Cells would be better if it was level by level. You're stupid.
You guys are so fucking. That I don't agree with.
Stupid. I'm sorry.
If you're gonna go Metroidvania or something, maybe. If you're gonna have really bitchin' level design, then sure. But if you're gonna have something where you start at one point and finish at another one, I think roguelite is definitely
But what's the best Metroidvania pretty much of all time? Hollow Knight. Oh, but doesn't that have roguelike elements in it?
Does it? I don't think it does.
Yeah, I mean, it has the fucking. Oh, it has Dark Souls elements, which is basically, you know what I mean.
I don't agree with that.
Okay, fuck you.
God damn it! This is what I'm talking about. You don't even know what the fucking roguelite is.
I do. But I'm just saying it has checkpoint elements and shit like that. I'm just saying you could make a great game, not a roguelike, but it's just harder for the developer to justify you spending that much time in the game when they don't have make it dick hard and have you play it over again.
My argument is that it doesn't fucking need to be that way, because you know what that fucking leads into? To me, that leads into the fucking player retention argument. Not every single fucking game needs to be made to continuously have you play over and over and over and over again.
But not every game is. Look at this game. You can play this game. Why did you play this game with the guys having his head jumping around?
I don't know. It looks kind of fun. I don't
know. It actually does look kind of funny.
It does. But it's not a roguelike, so why are you complaining?
Because you become a toaster, you cast yourself into fucking water, and the roguelite looks like I should have become a fucking toaster. What the fuck are you talking about?
I got so much shit. For saying that Devil May Cry 4 fucking sucked because you had to play through the levels twice. And everyone's like, oh, but that's the point. You're supposed to play these levels like 50,000 times and play that. I want to play them fucking once. If I'm going to play them more than once, I want them to be different. Otherwise, I'm going to play the game once, and if I like it, I'm going to play it
different every time you play them. That's why they're great.
Not make it inherently different. That is a horseshit fucking
roguelikes,
thing. That is so
roguelikes are different every time you play them. That's why they're great.
That's the entire point of the design.
That's the entire point.
I don't want to keep fucking doing the whole it's different every time you fucking play it. Sometimes I just like playing the game that I know I like playing.
Then you play this, Phil. Then you can play this.
This looks really great.
You can play toaster. Man's head turns into a toaster fest. You can play this.
I'm just saying, like, if you have a lot of everything, you get tired of it. But I would say of these fucking gaming trends, I like maybe one every like 20 years, and that's my one that I actually like.
My whole point on like roguelike, I don't want to play it. Then don't fucking play it. There's a million games for you. What about me?
What about Kyle?
Yeah.
Fiendishly well designed and fun puzzle games I've ever played.
Play Final Fantasy like 900 times. I don't give a shit.
It's like every game wants a battle royale. Yeah, these things are gonna follow trends.
With your silly roguelites and your stupid bebops, you fucking...
Phil, this whole show was for you.
Yeah, and these conversations are just to piss you off.
Summer Games Fest was literally just for me, and that I will take that consolation forever and a day.
Now let us have our Tantric 6 roguelikes where B delivers an orb or something. Whatever the fuck that was.
You say that, and I go, okay, that's cool. That's a different roguelike design. What if I fuck up the insertion on some level? Oh no, I gotta redo it. That's different every time. That's pretty cool. Also gives me an experience I haven't had in 2 years, but like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was this Cocoon or whatever?
This was Cocoon, yeah. I forget who the original developers were.
Ew.
I don't know. Someone in the chat said these game devs are like roguelikes. They're always different variations of the same guy.
Multiple worlds, and each of these worlds are contained.
That's pretty good.
My argument is just if I'm gonna be taking the character fucking off for a second, the reason why I dislike or have it being fall back on a roguelike thing is I don't think the roguelite actively makes it quote unquote different every time you play it, because you can get a roguelite to a point in which for the most part people are going to find a way that they like playing it and just do that over and over and over again. And
yeah, but there's a multitude of different play styles. Yes, but the game offers like a ton of different play styles, so you can play however you want.
Sure, but there's almost always the right answer. So like,
no, there's not.
My big problem with games like Bayonetta or Devil May Cry or something like that is that they're short, and the intention is that you're supposed to play them over and over again, and it literally is exactly the same every single time. Like, and I like those mechanics. I think they're fun, but it's just like I'm getting like a 2-hour game that I think is like kind of fun if I buy a game like that. You know, like
I like the ability to experiment with dumb garbage.
Yeah, like I wanna fuck with like different stuff. I want the game to keep throwing different shit at me. Like, dude, the level design in Devil May Cry 5 is so shit. It might as well be a fucking roguelike auto-generated thing.
Hold on. That's where you get like the higher difficulties, which do give more. The characters get new moves at higher difficulties. They get. There's sometimes.
Why slowly unlock the character and shit when I can just like, I don't know. Roguelikes just offer so much like variety in terms of, oh yeah, like this time in terms of like not even just like things that you get, but things you don't get. Like, oh, this run I didn't get the cool thing that I got last time. I have to play it completely differently and approach it from a different angle. I like that a lot. I don't think that
and jump back
being
in.
like, oh well, you don't get the cool move. You don't get the cool move until later in the game, and then you can go back and play this level again with the cool move. It's like, why would I?
Yeah, I never want to do that.
Fucking roguelike is. That's almost
no,
exactly
it's not.
what it fucking is.
No, it's not. You play a different level and get different upgrades.
No, but I guess what I'm saying is that what if? Okay, so you're gonna randomize the upgrades, and there's a fucking playstyle that I find that I really enjoy that are gonna have to force me to play through this one playstyle when I might as well just be like, but I like the thing I found and I'm playing that way. Why can't I just fucking do that? And it's like,
if it's a good roguelike, it'll play good no matter what. Like Hades plays good, I think, no matter what you play.
That's what I'm saying. But these are a fucking dime a dozen at this point, and there's a lot of them that I would turn around and argue that no, not many of them are very good.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like the fucking good stuff always rises to the top. I'm not like, if it's a bad roguelike, don't play it. Well, I don't understand.
I don't know. Vampire Survivors is mechanically almost non-existent other than the roguelike mechanic, and it's fun.
I'm sorry, Phil, but I gotta call you out on this. The anime games fan is complaining about oversaturation, really? Like, I'm sorry. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
I would like to know what you mean by that. I would, because first and foremost, we meme a lot, but I don't necessarily play anime games, right? I play more JRPGs and stuff like that. But like, what are you talking about?
I'm just saying, like,
Final Fantasy 16 looks like every other game in that genre. It looks just like Tales of Arise. It looks just like fucking the last Final Fantasy. It's just like Stranger of Paradise. It's just like Dot Hack. It's just like fucking Grand Blue Fantasy, whatever the fuck. They're all the same. It's just Hanga Genshin. Fuck you.
I would like to remind everybody in chat that Lyle's favorite game of the showcase was a game where you walk around as an old guy in the ocean. So
because I want to be under the water and away from fucking people like you.
Summer.
Then drown!
I'm the creative director.
Lyle.
Impossible. We are a
Good guy.
working on our
You gotta, there's okay, maybe take it back a few. You know, you gotta throw your voice out,
It's okay.
man.
You can be wrong and as loudly wrong as you are. That's fine.
If you're louder, you're righter. That's what I've found.
I'm just saying, Phil. There's a lot of games that like just do off the same premise, and I feel like roguelikes are something that they're pretty new in terms of like the overall sphere of things, which is why I think a lot of devs are making them. And I think that I like that approach to gaming because it does force you to make mechanics that are interesting, because otherwise why would people play your fucking game over and over and over again?
I think that you guys just don't like certain video games anyway, so it doesn't, like, this conversation's a moot point anyway.
You don't
So
like
it's just
certain video games either. You don't like roguelikes. It's okay.
No, I love roguelikes. The thing is, what I said was, I said not every single indie game has to be a different every time you play a procedurally generated roguelike.
But Phil, this isn't.
Like,
look at this game. Play this game.
After a while, what I'm saying is that you're taking a fucking genre and you're going, okay, here's something that works, but like, you're right. This is far more interesting than just another one of these fucking roguelites that I have tons of just sitting in my fucking Steam library that I open up and play for maybe about an hour or two and then call it a day. And that's what I'm saying is that, like,
that's the point of a game like that.
But you guys consume games differently than I do, and for different reasons, and I understand that why it would make sense for you guys to like that more, because you guys don't actually play video games.
That's not true. I play video games a lot.
You played Destiny. I'll give you that.
I played Destiny. Well, yeah, but I that's like my game that I fall back on. But I play fucking Diablo.
I am not looking to reinvent the world every single fucking video game I play. There are certain things that I have grown up on and I understand and enjoy. Whereas I feel like you and Lyle specifically try to, like, if it's not necessarily breaking the mold, or if it doesn't do the one thing you like, it's not, and you're going to cut it off. Whereas I'm more I find myself to be more in a way where like I'll play literally everything as long as it does something interesting. I don't care. It doesn't have to be this one thing. It doesn't have to be this one other thing. I just understand that it's like you sit there and you go, you unfairly say FF16 looks similar to Tales of Rise, or unfair, like because that's just what your brain is telling you. You're like, oh, it looks similar because of this, because it has these inklings of this one thing or another.
It looks exactly the same.
Comparison is the thief of joy, and that's all you've ever done with these titles over and over again. And I'm just saying, no matter what, I like roguelites. But you're right. There should be more silly shit like this, and not every procedurally generated fucking level.
But it's not every game. That's my point. How many roguelites were at this thing? Like 2.
Tim, sorry. I thought that,
at this thing too.
I thought I was doing something.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, there's not a lot. I get what I get. You're saying is this game looks really cool. I like the art style. I like a lot of the mechanics looking of it. Oh man, it's a roguelike. I don't like roguelikes. You know how many times, I'm just saying, you know how many times it happens to me where it's like, oh, it's like, this game looks cool. Oh, that's a turn-based RPG. Fuck. You know what I mean? Like, it happens all the time with everybody. I don't think complaining about roguelikes is going to make them stop happening, Phil. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not saying, I'm not complaining about it. What I'm saying is that I feel like there's just like in the AAA industry where the over-reliance is we got to turn into a games as service title, which happens to be the new fucking thing.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I'll agree.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Is that like in the indie scene, what it feels like is it has to have some kind of quote-unquote roguelite element where it's like, and you know what? If you're not doing as interesting as Hades, right, where it feels like, sure, it's a roguelite, but every step of the way feels like progression. That is what is so important to me in games, is feeling like if you're going to give me the same game experience over and over and over again, I understand adding the roguelite, quote-unquote, roguelite elements to be like, okay, so instead try this build out, try that build out, try this. That's fine. But if it's not going to pull a Hades on me, and then if every other game is going to be Hades, that's why I'm saying, like, okay, can we just stop?
I think for me, like the slot that like roguelikes kind of fit into is like, because I hate the games as service games, like the Destinies and the fucking like grindy, like, you know, hamster wheels. So to me, a roguelike is a game that I can just turn on and play and not really think all that much about and enjoy, but it's not going to be like a chore. It's going to be like, you know, like, oh, here's like a different set of shit that's going to happen to you every time. So it's not going to be like the same repeated tedium of like a grindy game that like maybe I don't want to pay attention to. Maybe I want to play, you know, listen to a podcast or something like that, or like listen to, you know, I listen to a lot of music. I try to stay up on like metal and shit. So it's like I have a lot of time where I just need something to do with my hands, but I don't want to play like a fucking Destiny or a, you know, like a grindy service game. So a roguelike is something that's gonna like, it's gonna like catch my mind. It's gonna do something different, but it's still like, it's not something I have to dedicate 100% of my brain to. That's like where it sits in like my gaming diet. Is it's an interesting, like, something to do with your hands kind of experience.
I like games that you can learn to play, that are hard but like approachable, and that's, I think, what roguelikes fit perfectly, where it starts very approachable and then it progressively gets harder, and then as you get better at it, it gets easier. I think that if I like that thing, and I also like being flung into different strategies and like having to adapt to different situations, and I think roguelikes usually deliver on that. So that's why, like, I think a lot of the time it's a very good way to build your game if you're making an action game or an action RPG especially. That's all.
I agree, Kyle.
Yes. What about you, Phil?
Yeah.
Okay. We're on the same page. Let's talk about Little Red Riding Hood game now.
Yeah, what's going on with this? Your sheep herding?
You're herding sheep. It's the intro to
Tommy. That's what they're saying, though. They don't want that. They don't. I'm with you on the. I'm fine with the just make a standalone game and I play it, and occasionally I'll come back to it. Like that to me is what is the mark of a good game. If it still makes you want to come back to it, even if the experience is still similar.
I'm fine with that if the game is story driven.
Yeah. That's my point. Yeah.
If the game is mechanics driven, like something like a Bayonetta or a Devil May Cry, it just doesn't.
Yeah.
There's never a reason for me to want to replay it.
Puzzle game.
Yeah, and that's fine because it's not you're not going for mechanics. Whereas like I myself, it's the gameplay is sitting there and me going, okay, how do I understand the mechanics more and actively like elevate it to look even cooler and do cooler shit?
Yeah, but you can do that in a
fucking difficulty.
But you can still do that in a roguelike, is our point.
As a team,
yeah,
like.
But I feel like for me, my goal in a roguelite is to beat it, and then when I beat it, for the most part, it's just like, okay, that's fine. I'll go back and I'll drop it and I'll play it again some other day. Whereas like, there's something inherent to the design of certain like action games, and I guess at this point, Japanese action games that is missing towards like most Western or like roguelike things, where it's just like the level of expression is to me the most important thing. Whereas like in a roguelite, I feel like unfortunately that there are better roguelites out there. Like I think Hades is really good at the whole idea of expression when it comes to that kind of thing.
Risk of Rain 2.
Well, I haven't really played Risk of Rain, so I can't really talk about that.
That Killer Bunny says DMC is story driven. You just don't like the story. I said that, and everybody fucking jumped on me because I was like, yeah, Devil May Cry 4, like you play it once and then you're done with it. And everyone was like, no, you're supposed to play it like 84 times. And I don't want to fucking play. I like Devil May Cry 4. I like the story, but like I didn't like that you had to play every single level as Nero and then you had to play the same levels as Dante. And people were like, but that's Devil May Cry. You got to play the same level 45 times anyway. It's like
universally, I think everybody has said the same exact thing when it comes to DMC4, and that it's like horse shit when in consideration.
I guess not, because I said that and everyone was like, that's the best one. It's universally considered to be the best, most beloved Devil May Cry game. You're an idiot. Nobody said Devil May Cry 4 was bad at the time.
Who said that?
I would like to know who said that as well.
Fucking everybody, the whole comments section.
No. No, you know what? That actually probably happened. That probably happened because I think me and Lyle are both kind of outspoken about actually liking DMC.
I think if DMC was not called Devil May Cry, people would kind of like it.
It would have been great. Yeah, it would have been great if it wasn't called Devil May Cry. It's because that's the thing. I've played both Devil May Cry and DMC, and it's like, yeah, DMC isn't really a Devil May Cry game. Like you're barely Dante, so it's like, I get it, but at the same time, it is a pretty solid like action game. So I don't know.
I'm just saying, I would love to play a Devil May Cry game that was a roguelite. Like that would be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Or at least that had like a roguelite mode, you know, after you beat it to where you could fuck around with the mechanics and stuff.
Bloody Palace.
Yeah. I guess that would.
That's just Bloody
The game
Bloody
for
Palace.
DMC isn't in the levels, it's in the characters. Well, then why in the fuck would they not give you the devil trigger until the end of the game? Devil May Cry 4 did get. I'm glad someone remembers that. DMC 4 got tons of flack at launch. I remember it getting like fucking like 6 out of 10s and stuff.
Yeah.
It got tons of flack for the fucking repeating the thing. That's
what I'm saying is like DMC4, I think, is like people hold it in their hearts like now as like it was actually good because like they did not like DMC. The game that followed it up, people hate it. And it's like they have perfectly relevant reasons for hating it. It's fine.
What the hell is this, by the way? Is this Anime Virus Simulator? What the hell?
This was that one that we made the joke about on the pregame discharge about knowing the
touching women. Yeah.
Oh, is that your woman touching hand?
It's the woman touching hand.
It's your cum hand.
It's my strong hand.
Look, it's dripping cum.
It's radiating cum. It's not dripping. It's radiating.
You know what? I think there is one trend. There is one trend in video games. There's one trend in video games that I think we all hate, and that is checklists. Stop doing that.
Oh man, was it the fucking which Pokemon started me off with that? And I said, man.
Arceus does that.
Arceus does it real hard.
Right?
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, stop doing that. No one wants that. No one wants a list of things to do and then like doing them in order. Fucking stop. Let me play the game. I hate that shit so much.
What is this? You build Game Boy?
Forever to
build something like this.
I have never seen one of these in my fucking life. It scares me.
Like this one when
Don't fucking touch that thing. That'll zap you. This hero zap you.
I opened my toaster and I saw this and it was like, what if I game?
gadgets with little effort.
Okay, I'm sorry. Who's in this chat? Jeff Moo. I'm sorry. I hate everything you love. You're just talking shit on roguelikes and then saying like, oh, I like checklists. Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna also resend Jeff. I was with you for that one time, and then man, you just keep saying some wild shit. Bro.
Everyone's allowed to like whatever the fuck they like.
Yeah,
it's
that's
fine.
at the end of the day, everybody's tastes are different, and that's fine. Yeah. Unless you're different from mine, and then you're wrong. But
yeah, unless if your tastes are different than mine, then they're shit, and I hate you. Oh, look, a fake boy. That's what you are. If you like things different than me.
I don't know. I also acknowledge that like my relationship with games is vastly different from other people's because I work from home. So it's like kind of a time is money sort of thing. So it's like I'll either go for something that's like completely just, you know, doesn't you can turn it off and on and it's of zero consequence, or it's like really quality time, and that sort of like middle area is like
I give unique experiences a lot of like bonus points too. Like if the game makes me
Sure. Everyone in chat that is in the know, or might be a weeb, but that might be 5 of you. Donation incentive to try for me to sit Lyle and Kyle down and force them to play 13 Sentinels.
What is 13 Sentinels?
13 Sentinels is actually a pretty cool little thing, but it's basically a visual novel.
That's not that one that you've been playing that has 46 games, is it?
No, what is that one? What are you talking about?
The one you were playing for like 5 months. It's like 13 games long, and they all connect to each other.
Oh, no, that's Trails.
What game is this? What game is Guy in a Box?
In Mars First Logistics.
Guy in a Box? You make another box. You drive.
Like I'll admit, like, dude, I will play like one JRPG every like 5 to 10 years, and I kind of enjoy it. But it's like always the same experience. I don't know.
I have to say, I feel so sorry for game developers who make these kinds of games because Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom just came out. Like, I know this is not the same, but like, I feel like people are just gonna be like, oh, I already have Tears of the Kingdom. I don't want to play this.
That would be really reductive and silly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick. I like that. I actually like this a lot.
I know it is cute, but I'm just saying, like, can you build a drone and go shoot a dragon with it? No. So
for like the 2 or 3 people that might know in chat, what he's giving me shit about is I made the journey starting last year in July, and I played every single game in the Legend of Heroes series. So like Trails in the Sky, Trails of Cold Steel, Trails to Azure. I played it all, and then I actually also started playing Kuda no Kiseki translated. So, and that is a 13 game plus series. So that's what they were giving me shit about.
Yeah, I'm not giving you shit about it.
I wasn't giving you shit. I was just like, I'm not playing 13 games.
Well, that one is the literal hardest sell because like it's impossible. It's just one of those like I have a friend who he's like, I gotta have someone to talk to about this, and I said, you know what, bro, I'll be there with you. And I started playing it, and it's an incredible JRPG series, but like, you know, it's also fucking 13 to 14 games fucking long, and it's still not done.
Yeah, I mean, people like One Piece, so
yeah.
It's the way I look at it is it's the easiest way to describe it for normies would be it's anime Marvel, it's anime MCU, where like every single game is connected. So there's characters from games back in 2002 that you'll meet in games coming out in 2017. And you're like, okay, this is cool as shit.
Isn't that like fighting games though? Like, don't fighting games do that?
Yeah, fighting games have that, but it's like fighting game lore is always like the only game that has like real lore to it is BlazBlue, and that fucking game is ridiculous.
No,
I don't think most people play fighting games for the story.
Yeah. What about Guilty Gear, where the sole bad guy is just a guy?
Guilty Gear is made by the BlazBlue team, so yeah, it's similar.
I know, I'm fucking around.
Oh, okay. I don't know what this is. I like it though.
This is cute. I think it could be cool if the physics work properly all the time.
I'm really excited to announce that Masterverse Logistics.
All fighting games have story and it's all insane, yeah, but do people actually care about them? That's
just 2 weeks away.
Soul Calibur's story is pretty.
Soul Calibur's story is a mess.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm saying it's pretty insane because every time, it's almost like they incorporate the ending of like every game. You know how like you beat the arcade mode and you get like a character's ending? Like they have to incorporate that into the next game, and almost all the time it ends in some sort of crazy weird note, and then they're just like, now then what happened? It's just like they're like, I don't know. Then all their daughters started fighting each other.
Post-flood world of Saltsea. The adventure unfolds differently.
I'd also like to make a small retcon to my previous argument. Procedural generation is something I'm not entirely against either. I think procedural generation is fine, but like the problem is that
Remnant is going to be great.
Yeah, but like the problem is that most games I've seen, it's always a 50-50 with like procedural generation. It's either A, it's done really well, or B,
it's boring, yeah. Or it's like the original version of No Man's Sky.
Yeah, Which now
you can kind of split the difference. Like Risk of Rain kind of has preset like level designs that you can get in like different varying orders, and different stuff can show up on them.
Yeah,
but like you can kind of split differences with stuff like that. Risk of Rain is more just like you get thrown random items and it's like, okay, well that's how my build's gonna turn out, so I gotta adapt to it. Like in Risk of Rain, I would say your build is almost like part of the challenge of that game.
Yeah,
where sometimes you'll just not get the shit that's good on your character and you'll have to make it work, which is funny.
No, and that's my argument with a lot of like roguelikes is like I like having to adapt to not only like what you get, like the crazy shit you can get, but your limitations. But also there's these games where quirky characters are on a boat or something, and there's colors and you can click on stuff.
Herd of Cats.
And Herd of Cats and Los Gatos. Yes.
Los Gatos hermanos.
Is this a game about my house again? All these cat games are just about my house. Oh fuck, there's cards in it too.
Unique art style.
This is my game. Oh man.
I do hate shitting on games like this, but these games are just starting to kind of
here's the thing. I don't know who this is for, you know? Like I don't want to shit on it too much, but like and I'm not shitting on it. It's just like somebody's specific favorite type of game of these games. But I just I've never met that person, you know?
I feel like this is going to be a gameplay loop driven game, and it's kind of hard to sell a gameplay loop on a trailer, I'll say.
I just want to meet, I guess what I'm saying is like, I want to meet the person whose favorite like type of game is this type of game. I feel like I wouldn't agree with them on a lot of things taste wise, but like I want to know who it's for. If that makes sense.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know if anybody's favorite game is this kind of game, but I feel like these kinds of games are like...
It's gotta be. Every game is someone's favorite game.
Maybe.
Sonic 06 is someone's favorite game.
Maybe.
I always feel like essentially what these indie games end up becoming more vehicles for is instead the story. So it's when people talk about these kinds of games, or they're kind of sent away, and instead it's the gameplay loop and the things that are created around it are more so in service of the storyline than actual gameplay mechanics. Which is why you'll hear a lot of people refer to things like A Night in the Woods, or that one game where it's like you're like on a boat and you're scavenging and doing. I'm trying to remember. It was like really.
I will say I'm kind of on the
Spiritfarer. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah,
I'm kind of on this kick now where it's like I really just enjoy story games, and I like for being story games and action games for being action games. I kind of like. I'm not really into games that mix them anymore. Does that make sense?
You don't like God of War?
Like God of War. No, that's the thing. God of War and like really big AAA like Slam House games like that are really like the exception. So like God of War, Last of Us.
Did we disagree or agree that God of War 2018 was better?
I agree with that.
I agree with that, yeah.
But I did like Ragnarok a lot. I just liked 2018 a little better story-wise.
I think the gameplay in Ragnarok was better, but I think that the story in the original was much better.
Yeah.
I'm reverse on that. I think I liked gameplay in Ragnarok, but I think it was better. But I didn't really care much about what's happening in the world. Something about 2018 was just so.
No, that's what I mean. That
new. It was just so fucking unique.
That's what I said. No, I'm saying that.
I mean, I cared, but I'd give the new one's story like an 8 out of 10, and the fucking the old one's story like a 10 out of 10.
The new one's story, I think, like holds up until about the halfway point, and then it starts to get like, all right, like where are we going? And then at the end, I'm just like, what?
Yeah, I think they kind of swap. Like the God of War 2018 is like 8 out of 10 gameplay, 10 out of 10 story, and Ragnarok is like 8 out of 10 story, 10 out of 10 gameplay for me.
Yeah. I think the combat in that game is like incredibly well thought out and like really cool.
Yeah,
and
the thing I like about Ragnarok is it actually like makes you engage with the mechanics more, because I played through 2018 the first time, and then I like watched a vid doc with like the guy who designed the combat, and he was playing it totally fucking different from how I was playing it, and I was like, oh, okay, because like the first one especially doesn't penalize you at all really for just doing your same like favorite combo and favorite moves, or where the second one will give you incentives to like switch stuff and do a bunch of different shit.
I will say the like super moves are a little bit too strong, whereas like sometimes like I'm on difficult bosses and I feel very like held up by them, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting my ass kicked, but all my super moves up, I'll just use my super move, and then like, you know, the boss can't deal with it in any kind of way. So it's like it feels like a bit of a crutch. That's my like only complaint about it.
Here's me doing the looking into the camera, slowly smirking, as you say, yeah, some guy was playing entirely different than me, and I thought that was really cool. Thinking about all that bullshit he was talking about the action games earlier, like, wow, it's almost like that was essentially the same thing. I get same enjoyment I get out of every Devil May Cry game and other anime action game.
Well, the God of War's mechanics are much different. They're like, you basically have light attack, heavy attack, and like spacing moves.
You can't, and I don't think you can compare God of War to you can't. I don't think you can compare God of War to Devil May Cry, where it's like we're talking about exploration and story on a much different level than Devil May Cry.
Like, I didn't know you could stick guys to trees in God of War. Like, I just straight up didn't know you could do it.
Yeah, no, that's fine, and that's understandable.
The dude was also like way utilizing like the environment to like fucking kick guys off cliff, because like I would never really leave my axe in a guy in the first game, because they're I don't know, for some reason I just never learned that was advantageous. And then like the combat designer guy was doing all this cool shit with it, and I was like, oh, okay, you can like do that. Like, I don't know, Devil May Cry is just like, oh, there's this combo and then there's that combo. There's not like environmental.
I agree, but like that's where it's like when it did that really reductive ass stance of like, oh, it's just a combo. It's like, no, it's really not, because it's also the crowd controlling nature of it, what actually works for certain different enemies a lot better, because not every enemy is going to respond to a certain weapon better than others would. It's just, I think it's just incredibly reductive to sit there and say like the joke, sure, I agree, whatever, it all looks the same. It is a reductive as fuck stance to be there if you don't actively interface with the systems. That's where I go, you don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying that. I actually said that was a flaw of the first God of War.
Yeah.
I said like it doesn't penalize you for not where the second one will give you a bunch of boosts. Like once you freeze a guy, you're not getting that boost again, so you should switch weapons. You know, like it kind of makes you play with the mechanics more, as opposed to.
Came out?
Yeah, it came out.
Okay. I was like, this game came out. This game won Game Pass.
Yeah.
No, but right.
But yeah, no, like I think a lot of people think that God of War 2018 has like a really shallow combat system, because like you don't actually have to engage with it.
No, it doesn't. Right. Yeah.
It's the same shit that people, well, the thing is, it's the same shit that people are giving 16 about. Like FF16 is actually using cooldown combat as well.
Yeah.
And then cooldown combat for a lot of people feels like it's they would much rather have the ability to just pull the skill off themselves, because cooldown combat does on some level sort of
it slows the game down.
It slows the game down, right? Especially considering that you put the cooler, most like crazier moves behind that.
Yeah.
But if a game is good, and ultimately that's just how that game works, is that as you get different weapons, it's supposed to incentivize you to switch between weapons. And God of War, both 2018 and Ragnarok, absolutely does that. It's like you are not supposed to just do the one thing, and a lot of people unfortunately are core gamers where they're just like, I just want the one combo to work and that's it. And it's like, well, that's not how this game is made. I'm sorry.
Ragnarok does a better job of it. God of War 2018, you could totally get by just doing like the same combos over and over.
Well, Ragnarok, you start off with like most of your gear already, so it's like the problem where it's like, you know, the whole, why do we start over from fucking ground zero in every every Metroid?
Yeah.
It's like, well, you know, because if you had your shit, you'd probably just roll right through everything.
Yeah, exactly.
That's sort of the feeling I got in Ragnarok, is that I kind of was rolling through everything because I had a lot of shit going on. We did not talk about like almost any game during this entire fucking shit game.
No, because we got into a heated argument.
Oh, it's over. Yeah.
And it's all your fault, Phil.
This is what happens when we let anger take the wheel.
It's fun. I had fun. Yeah. I had more fun during this than I did during the fucking Summer Games Fest.
Yeah.
That whole thing was for me, and I had more fun during this.
The Phil Fest.
The Phil Fest, he showed up, he goes, hey Phil, you got some games for you. I was like, sure, I'll take this if you don't mind, I suppose. What the fuck did you say about Final Fantasy